So Joe Biden has an issue with reporters. He really does. So did Trump. But the reporters still have this love-hate relationship with Biden. Or maybe it's just that they're used to being in an abused family of this kind, public family, and they will take whatever they have to take to advance the cause. And Joe Biden is advancing their cause as much as he can. He's just an incompetent boob. So let's take a look at this where he lashes out against reporters. And you'll also notice something else. Even when Trump lashed out, he was in control. He would say, you, and you said this, and you said... You never heard him yell at the top of his lungs or anything like that. But Biden does. Why? Because he's unhinged, that's why. Go.
Ask the right questions.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
Go back and read what I said.
Wait. Oh, you're getting nervous, man.
That is an interesting reading of English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
I want to talk about happy things, man. What the hell? What do you do all the time? When did I say I was confident? I said what I said was. Let's get it straight.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect.
Well, that's not true. You're saying things you do not know what you're talking about. No one said that. Who said that?
Who
said that?
I know you'd ask it. I have no response. It's another smear campaign. Right up your alley. Those are questions you always ask. You don't understand that. You're in the wrong business.
Can I ask you a quick question on Israel before you drive
No,
away?
you can't. Not unless you get in front of the car as I step on it.
Vice President, is that okay?
An obnoxious question.
Don't screw around with me. Let's get it straight.
Use a rape reference?
No, let me listen to me.
I'm listening.
Why are you the other guy that always shouts out questions? So don't poke that in my face, okay, buddy? But only you would ask that.
We gotta go.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Thank you guys. This is all the time we
Thinks he's so tough, this guy. You know how I know he's not tough? And my man, Josh, knows this too. He has the perfect nose. Have you noticed that, Josh? It's like the perfect straight nose. The cartilage has never been touched, nothing. If you're a tough guy, typically you have a broken nose. I'm not kidding. You'll have a very serious deviated septum, something like that. And that's just for starts. Maybe you have a little cauliflower-looking ears here and there, or a scar here and there. He's like perfect with his nose. Got the hair, the cornrows grown in and everything else. But you understand my point? He's never been a tough guy. He grew up in a relatively wealthy area around Wilmington. He goes to law school. He gets elected to the Wilmington City Council because of his deep knowledge. Not because he's a Democrat. Gets elected to the U.S. Senate when he's 29. He's sworn in when he turns 30. And that's what he's done his whole life. He's lunch bucket stuff. It's all a bunch of crap. There's nothing about Lunch Bucket Joe or any of that stuff. Scranton when he was 5 years old. I don't even know where the hell I was when I was 5 years old. But he plays up the Scranton stuff. He's been in Washington, D.C., treated as a king since he was 30 years old. He's 78, 79 years old. That's the bottom line. He does not connect with the American people very well. He didn't do the kinds of jobs that most Americans have to do in order to work their way up. Some people intuitively understand this, even if they haven't. He does not. He doesn't intuitively understand anything, but he's always been a very nasty guy. He was nasty to Bob Bork. He was nasty to Clarence Thomas. He was nasty to all kinds of judicial nominees. They never really pursued the Tara Reade story. There she was in her 20s. Innocent young lady wanting to work for somebody she admired enormously, and he molests her. Why would she come forward and say this if it wasn't true? Because she knew all the crap she was going to take. And by the way, the contemporary events seem to underscore what she said. The Larry King show and so forth, but it's all right. He's a Democrat. He gets a pass. Now, Biden made it clear early on in his so-called presidency that if you treat somebody with disrespect and you're on my staff, I'm going to fire you. Because Biden would never have that. Here's when he said it. Go.
We have such an awful lot to do, but I know you. I know your heart, your dedication, your commitment to this nation. And I know you can do it, and we're going to do it by leading with one core American value: humility and trust, collegiality, diversity.
Wait a minute. That's 4 so far.
Competency and family.
Go ahead.
And I want to thank your
5,
families for
6.
the sacrifices. But I'm not joking when I say this. If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot.
Now, first of all, they just gathered. It's January 20th. It's the afternoon. They're all there. You can see the propaganda. You can see what's going on the screen there. Thanks for coming and your sacrifice. But if you mistreat somebody, I'm going to fire you on the spot. They're all going, what the hell did I just sign up for? What did I just sign up for? Now, more to the point, and the point is, he mistreats people all the time, including some of these individuals we're talking about. Now, I have to confess, I don't really mind slapping the press around here and there. I really don't. Because many of them are obnoxious. Most of them aren't really journalists. They're pushing an agenda and so forth. But what Biden objects to is when they ask some serious questions, because he's not used to that. Remember, he ran his whole campaign out of the basement. He ran his whole campaign where we saw the back of his head, not the front of his face, because he was walking away. He didn't take many questions. Remember all this stuff? Still doesn't, but even less during the course of the campaign. They were so concerned that he'd screw up, because he's a screw up. But now, every now and then, they're asking a question like on inflation. Oh, that's big meat. Big meat did inflation. What are you talking about? That's big meat. The border. Oh, that's the prior administration. You know, they screwed up. They didn't secure the border. Yes, they did, of course. And things of that sort. So, there you have it.
Want to see more? Sign up for Levin TV.